Yeah.
So you just go to Google and then just Google it.
Yeah, basically. I mean,
Google Maps tracks.
Google Maps tracks, there's the About page, takes you right into it. So google.com/maps. Anyway, so there is sort of a URL, but the easiest way is to just Google it. So this slide just shows some of the cool things that they have. The Taj Mahal, Petra in Jordan, and it has thousands of these. It's not just these that are here. And if you're on the actual page, if you let it sit too long, it'll refresh and show you different places that you can go to. Now, I've got to mention Google Earth as well. Google Earth is like maps on steroids. It's incredible, and it's so much more robust that it's an actual installation. I mean, like, you have to install the software on your computer or get the app for your phone. But the things that it's most famous for, like a lot of people know the Fly To feature, where when you put in an address in Google Earth, you actually feel like, as you look at the screen, you feel like you're flying to wherever it is that you're going. And the level of detail that it has on these things is just incredible. You go to New York City, you will actually be able to view and circle around, like a bird, the buildings in New York City. It has, well, and their database is incredible. I mean, it also functions, if you pointed at the stars, it has a fully functioning planetarium. So if you have astronomy classes, it actually has the full star system just right there, like a planetarium. It also goes under the oceans. And so if you want to go scuba diving at the Great Barrier Reef, you can. And let's see. It also has the moon fully mapped out, so you can actually go to the moon and explore the moon. It is incredible. And again, it's all for free. It's all on your computers or on your cell phones. It's pretty amazing.
All right, Google Alerts. This is a fun way to track yourself. So type in your name, you can get email notifications saying that someone just posted something about Betty this time. But with the library, it's especially nice because with the library, you can get automatic updates regarding your library. If there's a news article that talks about your library, if there's some posts from social media about your library, you can be notified of those that way. Google Alerts is really nice that way.
Can I just add something?
Please.
Let's say for you academic librarians, if you have an obnoxious grad student who is always looking for the latest thing on whatever their research topic is, you can help that grad student set up an alert so that anytime something new about that topic comes out, Google Alerts will let them know that something new has been published about it or mentioned on a news site or something like that.
Okay. So there's an example of Google Alerts right there. And all you do is right up there, type in the topic you want to look for with Google Alerts. And then it will automatically send it to your Google email address, your Gmail address. It has suggested alerts down here at the bottom as well. I haven't found those particularly useful, but you can type in any subject you want and then it can alert you of those through email.
What's at the bottom? I can't see.
These right here are suggested alerts.
Oh,
It has Amazon, Microsoft,
oh, okay.
other boring ones. So,
And as it gets to know you, it will change those suggestions to be more focused on you. There's a hand over there.
Yeah, I have, I'll create RSS feeds. I always have trouble figuring out how to actually get the RSS feed reader. Can I use this instead?
I don't think this is a RSS reader. It's interesting, I'm not gonna digress really fast about RSS. RSS was really popular, early 2000s. It has since become less and less popular because of how difficult it is to use. And so technologies like this are trying to replace the whole RSS concept with that. But this is not an RSS reader.
They do the same thing.
It can do similar things. It's not as handy as an RSS reader because an RSS reader, you can go to any news source, click on the RSS and see all their top headlines and so forth. This won't do that for you.
Now, Google is phasing out any of their RSS stuff, but Yahoo still uses it. So you can find some Yahoo products that would integrate with your RSS.
Of course, Yahoo's phasing out too,
Yeah.
in general. Okay, Google News. So Google News, I use this on my phone all the time. But the nice thing about Google News, it can show specific news articles that are featured toward you. So if you search for something, in fact, it's got a search field up there. You can't see it very well, but there's that search icon right there. And then you can go in and you can actually put in topics that are pertinent to you. So you can put in library topics or civic events or things like that. And you could potentially have your own customized Google News feed that relates to your library with that. Okay? And then there's the mobile version. The thing I did want to point out with the mobile version, and it does have that as well in the desktop version, is the For You right there, where it gives you the customized feeds for your preferences. So if you like to look at kitty cat YouTube videos, it will look at where you're going. Google tracks almost everything you do. And it will start showing more and more kitty cat type of things on there and so forth. And so it's kind of scary how well it knows you, and it's a scary reflection on what your life really is. Looking at the For You section. All right, now the last one is, with this part, is Blogger. How many of you still blog? So again, trend in the early 2000s, lots of blogs, but the nice thing about Google Blogger is that it's so easy to set up a blog. At any time, you can go in, you can create a new blog, you can have it be on kitty cats, cute kitty cat videos, and you can go and you can create whatever you want. Now with the library situation, it's super nice because if you want to create a temporary blog, so for example, if you have a civic event in your library, or if you've got another teacher coming in to teach on a particular subject, you could blog about that and then publish it on your library website and people could see it. And then once you're done with it, delete it, it's all the way off of it. So it's really nice for just temporary type of blogs because you have complete control over it with it. Okay? All right, there's Blogger. Google Forms.
With blogs, of course, you can also plug them into your websites, and that's something nice. I mean, you can have a little window in your web page, and so you can update your blog on your own pretty easily, but then it'll show up on your website almost immediately.
Yep. Google Forms is a way to quickly and easily create forms with fields where you can actually click, hey, I want to track certain type of information. I want to gather information from my patrons or from my staff. And you can say, all right, I want a drop down that has these particular options. Or I want check boxes where they can check these things. Think of it as a survey that you can create yourself that then integrates into Google Sheets. So what you can do is you can quickly go into Google Forms, you can create this, you can then have it go into Google Sheets, you can send it out through email, the link to it, and again, you can limit it to a particular group, or you can send it out with a link that anyone can access regardless if they have a Google address or not, and they click on it, they can come up, you can change the background to your particular library, so it looks customized to you, and they can go in and say, I really like James Britch as director of the Parnell Library, or he's really, really bad, get rid of him. Of course, we wouldn't offer that as an option. But the nice thing is how easy it is to create quick surveys and be able to send them out. It's so quick, in fact, after you have an event at your library, you could quickly create one of these and then send it out or include it as just a quick URL at the end of your presentation or your activity. Have people go on their phones, go to it really quickly, go in, check, check, check. I really liked it, I didn't like it, here's some feedback with it, submit, and gather that feedback really quickly with that.
Where do you access that?
Google
Forms, is it on the drive and one of those?
It's on the drive, yep. In fact, let me show you really fast here. So I'm gonna show you really fast how to access these. So if you go here, you can go, there's your drive right there, and like James talked about, if you scroll down, there's actually more links down there. If I go into drive right here, now I can go in and I can click on a new, and I can click on the more right here, and there's Google Forms right there. There's several others on here, such as Google Sites, Google My Maps, Google Drawings is a great Visio replacement, by the way, in case any of you use Visio for flowcharting. But Google Forms is right here. You can click on it, and you can quickly go in and say, it will give you some pre-canned forms, but you can go in and you can create your questions. You can say what type of question this should be. Checkboxes drop down. You can include a file with it, short answer, and so forth, and go in and customize however you want to look at this.
We're getting really short on time, so we've got to keep it moving.
Okay, he says I'm getting boring. Okay, let me keep moving here.
Okay. So Google Books, this falls more under the librarian's purview. Who here has used Google Books? Okay, so a lot of you have. Now, Google Books it's incredible. Google, in their quest to conquer the world and take over absolutely everything, they partnered with more than 20 major, like Ivy League level universities all around the world. And their goal with this is to digitize every book in existence that is no longer protected by copyright. Well, even some that are. But so if there's a book that you know of that is no longer protected by copyright, so if you have a favorite Mark Twain or a Shakespeare play, in this case, The Winter's Tale by William Shakespeare, you can find it here. And it provides you with the full PDF of the book, or you can use the Google Reader that it provides and read the entire book here. The great thing about it is that all of these books are keyword searchable. So if there's a phrase that you know, or if there's a phrase or a bit of information that you know exists that you want to find, search for the book in Google Books, and then you can actually search within the book to find that exact passage that you need. As librarians, we love keyword searches. And so Google Books really makes that easy. And of course, something else that's great is that you can download it as a PDF and read the book on your phone really easily.
Does it do audio as well, or just the
It does not do audio. Yeah, as far as I know, it doesn't have audio. Do you mean audio books or have it read? Yeah, it doesn't have audio books, but there are lots of other services out there that do. The Gutenberg Project, the Gutenberg Project is just one of many that do provide audiobooks. And also the Internet Archive, they have an incredible amount of audiobooks on there. I was able to find the entire Dune series for you sci-fi fans. It's all there on the Internet Archive for free. Okay. Now, Google Scholar academic librarians will recognize Google Scholar, but Google Scholar is, it's basically using Google's search engine technology to find scholarly articles. And I use Google Scholar a lot, but I'm hesitant to recommend it to people because it's so big. It pulls from everywhere in the internet, so when you do a search for something, unless you're extremely specific, it'll always bring up millions of results. So of course, for you academic librarians, you want to make sure you're using your regular databases first. But if there's an article that you know exists, but that you can't find in the regular databases, then use Google Scholar to try to find it. Here's an example of the search results. It recognized me, and so it brought up some of the articles that I participated in writing. I was a co-author on that one that's listed on the top there. But some nice features. Oops. If you click on the little symbols that it has, it'll actually bring up the citation for the article in all of the major formats like APA, MLA, Chicago Trade-In. It has all of those. And this little pop-up is showing this particular article in those different formats. And then, of course, just copy and paste it, double check it to make sure that it's accurate because it was created by a machine. And then you can plug this in, or your students can use this, use it in their references page or works cited page, and they're good to go. Again, but this is more useful for academic libraries.
You can talk about library links, which makes it a little easier to use.
Okay, now library links, which links to Google Scholar?
Well, library links that links to your library's database.
Right, right. Well, and there's a lot that I could get into, like open URL technology, which will link, Google Scholar can actually connect up with your library's databases. If you have a federated search, it can actually search through Google Scholar as well. But I don't have time to get into all of that right now. But there are really cool options for you academic librarians. There are really neat ways you can set this up. Now, something else that I don't think a lot of people take advantage of is Google Scholar Metrics. And Google Scholar Metrics, it's listed there. If you go to the Google Scholar page, Metrics is listed right there on the left-hand side. And Google Scholar Metrics, I think the idea behind it is so that like graduate students who need to keep track of how many people have cited their particular article that they've written, Metrics is a way of, it'll let you know what things have been cited the most. However, I'm going to take a different angle on this. Metrics also tells us which articles are the most popular, and in particular, which periodical titles are the most popular. So, for you collection development librarians that are trying to decide which periodicals you should be subscribing to, in particular, scholarly or peer-reviewed periodicals, if you want to know, okay, what are the most popular things, what should we have so that I make sure I have the best resources for my students, if you do a little bit of digging in Google Scholar Metrics, you can see what's the most popular in Google Scholar. So I clicked on Google Scholar Metrics, and it brought me to this point. And here, it's a little hard to interpret what all of this is. It has this H5 index, H5 medium, and immediately your eyes start to glaze over and you think, oh, this is so boring, what does this mean? But if you actually use the subject headings or use the subjects that it recommends on the left, and then use the subheadings and narrow it down to the particular topic that you want. Oh, I went too far. Okay. Anyway, you can narrow it down. You can click on health and then click on a particular aspect of health, and then it'll actually show you the different periodicals that are popular under that particular heading. And The higher the H5 index, the more popular it is, the more times it's been cited, and the more times people are looking at it. So in other words, in simple terms, here under Health, the New England Journal of Medicine is the most popular periodical that's being cited by, in Google Scholar. I hope that wasn't, I know that could just go just right over your heads, but if you have questions, just let me know. And once you get in and start digging around, it actually is more simple than you might think. YouTube.
Okay. There's this little known site called YouTube. And I'm gonna actually, so I'm not gonna go through YouTube. You guys have used YouTube millions of times. But the thing I want to recommend with YouTube is that you utilize it to film events at your library and then put them up there for your patrons. Okay? So it's really, really great for that, to get your library out there. And of course, there's the mobile version as well. Let's see if their sound is actually working here, and we'll test this out. I don't know if it is.
No, there's no sound.
What's
This
that?
This
Okay.
laptop sound, there's no speakers.
It has subtitles. You could,
All right, we'll give it a shot here.
okay, I'll just read it out loud.
All right. Go.
Instructions that doesn't make use it. You should start with Maxim's primer. How's your Sanskrit? I'm fluent in Google Translate.
Dr. Strange. So, all right, what do we got? Okay, Google Translate. It's nice, especially when you're dealing with a lot of patrons that are speaking out of the language. You can actually learn just a few phrases to help them along with that. The other thing is that bottom, research sites in foreign languages. There are a lot of sites, German, European, Asian, and so forth, that have information you want. You don't have a clue what it says. Use Google Translate to help you get past that. There you go. All right, last but not least, advanced searches. So the question came up, how the heck do I find advanced searches in Google? Let me go out of here really fast. So this is the home page. It's under settings and then advanced searches. They hit it. It used to be right off the top of the main page. If you click on there, then you can go in and you can do advanced searches that way. And we don't have time for me to do a whole lot of those, but
All the librarians are going, no, this is nice. This is nice.
yeah, but let me share a couple tips with you. One is you can do match all terms. You can do an or, so you could do, and basically it's an and. You can also do ors. You can also do exclusionary phrases. I like the domain search. That's a lot of fun to be able to go on a particular website. Could be a college, university, some other government website, and search within that particular thing to find what's going on with it. So there's some examples of that. This right here is just a quick cheat sheet for advanced searches if you want to get into that. All right, that is our presentation. We are, with that last link right there, if you want to take a picture of it, you want to write it down, we are actually using a Google technology to help us shorten the link. This is called Google Shortener. And if you search for Google short URL, you can also shorten your URLs as well. Before you leave, we have some surveys that I'm Randy, that's James, by the way. Feel free to mention us by name, saying I'm the better presenter. And you can fill out those surveys on your way out. We'd love to get your feedback with that too. Thank you very much.
Thank you.